I always tell them to respect it, but I get to take it if I'm speeding, and if I'm not speeding, I don't get to take it. So.
They're good guys.
Do we have our new member?
I haven't heard otherwise, so I don't know. I mean, we could probably start since we have
We have a quorum.
more Max
Max who?
Benoit.
Benoit. What a fun name for me to learn. All right.
He's been around.
Joe, you're here, I told him that you have it all handled, and I just came to knock, so I think that was Molly.
All right, Joe. Okay.
All I know is he said
Good to know.
he did everything he could, so I hope it works.
All right.
He did everything he know how.
There we go. All right. Well, on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order, and if our newest member joins us, so better for us, but we've got 4, so we're good to go. All right, good evening and welcome to the Charter Township of Meridian Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. Today is Wednesday, February 19th. It is 6:31, and we will go ahead and call this meeting to order. Looking at my agenda in front, I am going to make a motion to approve tonight's agenda,
Support.
supported by Member Trezise. Any comments or concerns about the agenda? All right, then this is a vote to approve tonight's agenda. Member Koenig.
Yes.
And, excuse me, I did not bring a water bottle. Speaking of water bottles, Member Finnan. Oh, I'm sorry,
It's okay.
Member Brooks.
It's okay. Yes.
I'm sorry. Motion to approve tonight's agenda. Member Brooks is a yes.
Yep.
Member Trezise.
Yes.
All right, and the chair votes yes, so tonight's agenda has been approved.
I move to
Moving.
approve the minutes from January 15, 2025 as presented.
Awesome, and this is, any corrections, notes, I read through, it looked good to me. All right, this is a vote to approve the minutes for January 15th. Member Koenig?
Yes.
Member Brooks?
Yes.
Member Trezise?
Yes.
And the chair is yes, so those minutes are approved. No communication, so we will move directly on to unfinished business, which brings us to ZBA case number 24-11, Grand Reserve, Mayberry Homes, 1650 Kendall Boulevard, number 200 East Lansing. Mr. Chapman,
Yeah,
you'd like to update us, please?
sure. So the applicant's requesting a variance to construct decks that encroach into the wetland setback. The December 18th ZBA meeting, the request was tabled to the future meeting. And at the January 15th meeting, it was postponed so that the plans could be revised, and the applicant has submitted new plans. And this chart shows the changes that they've done. And that's all I have.
All right. Would the applicant or the applicant's representative like to come on up to the podium? We meet again. And give your name and address for the public record, please.
My name is Joe Schroeder. I live at 4116 President's Way in DeWitt, Michigan, 4820.
All right, take it away.
Pretty much, we look through each unit because one of the discussions was there's a 25 minimum setback, but yet some of the houses were set further back than that. So we slid things forward as far as we could to still allow the parking, which we discussed as well. So units 23 and 24, we slid forward, which we actually removed the deck posts out of the wetland buffer. So that actually, we took that to the zoning department, reviewed it, and actually gave us approval and gave us a building permit. So that has since been put under construction, and that one's no longer needs to be discussed. The other one that we did, and we don't have the zoning from the board yet, but unit 54, we're gonna propose to flip that from a garage left to a garage right, and that will get that deck out of there, so unit 54 will no longer need to be applied for variance. Unit 53, we pulled forward, so it's not into the buffer as much. If you look, I don't know if you have the plot
Yep,
plans.
we should have them all in the packet.
So on unit 53, we slid it forward where those posts are, one is not in the buffer, but one is. So we're requesting a variance for half that deck based on the dotted line that goes there. Then the ones we have difficulties on, and we slid them forward just so they weren't in enough. Like if you look at 49 and 50, we slid it forward where 49 is no longer in the buffer, but there's 2 posts that are barely in the buffer for unit 50. So we're trying to minimize the impact on that. And then the 2, which there's actually, I lost one of my. So I think I'm missing a page. 59 and 60, and I think it's 51 and 52, we slid them forward, but there's really no way to get those out of the buffer without requesting a variance. So we've minimized the number, so we're officially requesting for variances on 59 and 60, 51 and 52, then one deck post for,
Keith, can you roll up to the top of 51? So we can see, because it looks like we've got two drawings there, 51 and 52 below are the old drawing, where there's encroachment from both units. 51 is up on the top, and I think that's your adjustment. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay. There's inlay, there's inserted changes
Yeah,
in the drawings.
I'm not seeing what you're saying, because this looks
This
like.
is 50, this is the new one, this is what came first, and this is how it's been adjusted, so only 51 is encroaching. These have been moved up, so 51 is no longer encroaching.
Oh, I thought 51 was still encroaching.
no, I might have misquoted. For some reason,
51 is the one that looks like it
51
has one post.
Yeah.
There's one
51
post
is-
for 403, but 52 is the one that's got moved out.
I don't think, was 52 in it originally?
I didn't think 52.
I don't think 52
Yeah, I know
was.
52 is
But
already.
it shows the encroachment, so, okay.
Yeah, 52 wasn't before. So it's
Oh,
just,
you're right, I'm sorry, I missed.
They just moved it back.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just moved it back.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, so it was a little bit further.
Trying to keep myself organized, sorry. So we're requesting the variance on 51, or 52.
51,
51.
51, not
50,
52.
yeah,
from 6 feet to a little over 4.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Schroeder, if you're good with it, I'm gonna go into board time, so then we can
Okay.
just get into,
I'm good with it. hopefully.
asking more questions. Good, all right. All right, we're officially board time, so jump in the water, gentlemen. Mr. Trezise, go for it.
Thank you for your efforts. I appreciate this. There are some significant changes that reduce the encroachment, and I can support this as presented.
All right, thank you, Member Trezise. Member Koenig. go ahead.
I support Member Tresise's comments as well, but I did have a question for Mr. Chapman. Could you scroll down to the first, unit 4950? Looking at the zoom in at the top there, to me, I see a maximum, I guess, variance need of 1.12 feet, but your table says that the revised amount was 4.05. So where am I? I'm getting confused, or there's a discrepancy of something. I noticed there's a couple in here that seem,
Yeah.
they don't match the table. I just want to know if maybe I'm looking at something
Like it's even,
wrong, or-
it looks like, it appears it's even less.
Because if it's 1.12 feet, that's
Right.
even better
It's
than the 4
significantly
point feet. That's
less.
significantly better.
Right.
And
The
then want to make
plot
sure.
plans supersede the table is my understanding. This is how they're proposed to stake them.
The plot does?
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So wherever we go with this, let's make sure that we
Yeah, because I noticed
denote,
51, and there was a couple others that I saw that were 59 and 60, if you look at that as well.
yeah,
59 and 60, you show 3.86 and 2.53, but the drawing looks like it's about 7.26 and 6.12.
at the, right, where the,
The longest
The
variance
longest
that they would
area of the
need to
longest
request.
variance.
Yeah, so the numbers, I just didn't know if maybe I'm looking at something wrong, or maybe the numbers in the table just didn't get updated, or.
I don't think the table is updated, and that might be going off the face of the deck where the plot plans are actually going off the deck posts. So those, the deck's actually gonna hang past the deck post.
okay, so that's, okay, that would make more sense then.
But even then, they're not,
They're not,
they're still not matched.
Yeah, there's something not,
not lining up.
yeah, either the inlay's wrong or I was going off of the actual plan, not the inlays.
Oh,
So there's different numbers. You see that?
Where are you? Yeah, so I'm trying to find an example. So it's 30.
So the closest point on here was 35.95.
Yep.
I just subtracted that from 40, and and that's where I came up with that number.
Oh,
The inlay is a different number, so I don't know which is actually,
This one's going off the wetland, the other one's going off the buffer.
Yeah, so you probably needed to take the 35.95 and subtract that from 37.12. That's probably where he got his 1 point.
oh, yeah.
Well, no, that's not even 1.12. It should be 1.17, I guess, if you want to do the math, but
Yeah, so it's from the edge of the wetland, so that's what we have to go from.
From the edge of the wetland
Yeah.
to the buffer,
Yeah, to the,
or to
The deck.
to the deck,
yeah,
To the deck,
so it's the closest point of the deck.
okay.
to the overhang, not to the
Yeah, it's
post.
technically any structure, so it's the overhang.
It's the overhang.
Post.
No.
Okay,
Okay,
okay, so then, so the table is what staff did based on edge of the wetlands to the
Yes.
edge of the structure.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's what we have to go off of.
All right, that makes more sense. I can be with, in agreement that I'm comfortable with the changes made, and thank you for the clarification. We have so that we know what numbers we're approving, but, yeah, looks like you guys did a great job bringing it in, making as much, headway with it as you could, so that is appreciated for sure. That's, I think, what we were looking for. So, yes, Member Brooks.
I also appreciate the effort that you've gone into to push these back. I have two questions. One is, so on the plot plan that shows unit 53, so is unit 54 to the west of that? Wait, no,
It would be the south.
Oh, yeah, it'd be the south because the north is going the other way. So is that unit going to get variance?
That's the one where it's not really reflected on here, but if we flip that, if you look at it, it presently shows, 53 shows a garage, or wait, I'm confusing myself again. That's 54. If we make 54 is presently a garage left, if we make that a garage right, we can get both those deck footings out of the buffer.
So the deck would flip to the opposite.
Yeah, because if you look at where that buffer line is on it's not 54, it's 54, not 53 that we'd flip. 53 just has the one deck post in it.
As the one post.
and 54 is not on here because there's no incursion anymore.
Exactly, because if we flip it, it's not gonna encroach.
Right.
But do you need consent to flip it, or just,
I need to go to the zoning, they approved 23-24 on that, so as long as we go back to zoning and they approve the changes to the master plan, we're fine.
Okay.
Which they've been agreeable so far, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the second question I have, Mr. Chapman, this might be for you. So for our sidewalks in a space like this, is there a requirement that there's so much space between the sidewalk and the road?
Not for this, no. I mean, there's a requirement for allowing utilities, like the utility easement, but not the actual sidewalk.
So technically, like, the sidewalk could be moved.
I don't know about that. I'd have to ask our engineering department because I have no clue.
Okay.
But I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, the question is like, so the sidewalks, clearly, the goal is not to have cars park on the sidewalk, but if the sidewalks, if there's 4 feet or 2 feet or 3 feet or whatever it is between the sidewalk and the road, if you reduce that, then you can get rid of some of these variances, probably even more, because you could move the units back further.
Yeah. Start messing with that, though, it messes with the elevation of things, because typically you set your city walk back, it usually sits up 6 inches, then your house sits up higher than that, you start pulling that to the curb, and then it flattens it out, then it increases that hinge point behind the city walk going to the house, so it messes with the pitch of the driveway, so.
Okay.
That's why typically you leave a little bit of space for it.
I'm not gonna push that, I'm just raising it as a
Question. Yeah.
question point that I wanted to make.
I would imagine at this point too, since it's a development, you're basically uniform across the property.
We try to be,
with space.
with 23 and 24, like, we pulled that forward, so it's gonna sit a little bit
closer.
It's not gonna be in a straight line with everything else. It's gonna be offset a little bit, but it's not gonna,
Yeah, but your sidewalk and your easement between the sidewalk and the road is gonna be.
Yeah, that
pretty-
stays the
It's gonna
same.
be uniform.
yeah, the sidewalk stays the same. It's the distance from the backside of that city walk to the garage that's gonna
Right,
change.
Right. Yeah. All right. Anybody have any further questions? All right, well, let's tackle some criteria. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, it's not in the
You didn't
packet.
put it in there,
Keith.
did
I
I'll
got
get
it.
Oh, it's okay. I'll find it somewhere.
I know where it's at.
Oh, even better. Look at you.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Business,
Maybe.
yeah.
Here.
Government,
Oh,
there
right
it
there.
is, boards and commissions. It's on there. There it is. Okay. All right, our first variance is unique circumstances exist that are peculiar to the land or structure that are not applicable to other land or structures in the same zoning district. And these unique circumstances are not self-created. I think we talked about this one at length over the past 2 meetings with you guys, so I can meet that criteria. Criteria 2, strict interpretation and enforcement of the literal terms and provisions of this chapter would result in practical difficulties that would prevent the owner from using the property for a permitted purpose. This is one we struggled with. Is everybody able to meet this criteria at this point? Are we still, yes.
I believe so, because this is a development with multiple units, trying to provide utilization in the same manner for each one. And a strict interpretation would prevent them from building a deck on the back as designed.
Yep.
So I think I can go with that.
All right, I can agree with that. All right. Criteria 3, granting the variance is the minimum action necessary that would carry out the spirit of the zoning ordinance, secure public safety, and provide substantial justice. I think that we have worked well on coming up with a plan to get as much of a minimum requirement for these variances as possible, even to the point of removing some of these from the table. So I'm glad that, and thankful that you guys were willing to work with us and keep coming back and keep revising until we got it to where it was as minimal as possible. So I can meet this criteria. Is everybody on board with that one?
Yes.
All right, criteria number 4 says granting the variance will not adversely affect adjacent land or the essential character in the vicinity of the property. I think this is gonna be a great development. I don't see that granting these variances is gonna do anything but cause uniformity in the development and.
They're all internal.
Yep, all internal, yep, within the development, and it's gonna keep that character of the property intact, so I can meet that criteria. Criteria number 5, granting the variance will be generally consistent with public interest and the purposes and intent of this chapter, and I think that we've met that in many different circumstances and ways. So, and we,
I think this is very positive development for the area and for the community, and the minimal variances we're granting to incur into the wetlands buffer, I think make this clearly a benefit to the community.
I would absolutely agree. All right, in that case, do we have a motion?
Move to approve the variances as requested. I would ask that Mr. Chapman verify the numbers involved. I believe they're accurate, but just to make sure that we're all on the same page. So there could be some minor adjustments to the incursions, probably not significant, and I would recommend approval of this.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, and support by Member Brooks. Any more discussion on the motion? I think we've discussed this at length. I think we're all ready. Okay, this is a vote to approve ZBA case number 24-11 as noted by the motion from Member Trezise with verification of staff on the numbers in the table, and we're approving based on the numbers on the table.
Right.
as opposed to the numbers in the drawings. All right, so this is a motion to approve. Member Koenig?
Yes.
Member Brooks?
Yes.
Member Trezise?
Yes.
And the chair is yes, your variance has been approved. Thank you very
Thank you very
much.
much for your time.
Your efforts.
Absolutely. And on that note, we will call public comment. You guys are welcome to make a comment. All right, I'm closing public comment. I will open up board member comments. And I will just say, it's great. And as members, as I said, I'm thankful that we have builders in our community that are building with integrity and that are building communities that will impact positively the township. And just, keep it up. Thank you for working with us and continue, doing good things for our community. Keep it up. And guys, good job. Thank you. Thank you for being patient with this case and sticking to your guns and making sure that we are doing the right thing for the township and doing the job that we have been assigned to do on this board. So appreciate you.
Thank you.
And guess what? That is officially a wrap.
9 minutes to spare.
I told you it was gonna be fast.